you guys, it's Simply Monique. Welcome back to my channel. If you have not subscribed, I ask that you subscribe before you leave this video. Also turn on your bell so you'll be notified each and every time I upload a video. If you are a return subscriber, supporter, and family member, thank you so much for returning. And now today, you guys, we are going to talk about all things nursing. Yes, that is what we're going to talk about. The good, the bad, and the ugly truth about nursing. So if you want to know the truth, the ugly, the good, and the bad about nursing, then stay tuned. Okay, you guys, so the first thing first, I'm going to tell you, and if I look down, I'm looking at my phone for my notes. I'm going to tell you the definition of nursing from my experience, my standpoint. Nursing is, first of all, it's a holistic view, which that is by the Board of Nursing. It is a holistic view of the patient. Mind, body, soul, what's the other one? Mind, body, soul, and spirit. That is what nursing is. You are caring for the entire entity of the person, the soul, the mind, the body, the spirit, the whole 9 yards, okay? Also, nursing is caring, okay? It's caring, it's love, it's passion. That is what my experience is of nursing, okay? As I stated, there's some good, there's some bad, some ugly about nursing, okay? But I just wanted to start out with the definition of nursing from the Board of Education, not the Board of Education, Lord God, from the Board of Nursing view, as well as my experience. Next, I'm going to let you guys know that there's different types of nursing. There's the LPN, which there's the licensed professional nursing. And then you have ADN, which is the associate degree of nursing, which is a 2-year degree. And then you have your BSN, which that's what I have, your Bachelor of Science of Nursing, your Bachelor of Science in Nursing rather, which that's what I have, and that is your 4-year degree. Then you can be certified in all types of different areas, labor and delivery, med surge, on and on, okay? But we're not going to get that deep today. So yeah, those are the different types of nursing. And for your LPN, I want to say that is a 15-year certificate. That's not real. I don't think that's a degree. I think that's more like a certificate, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, then forgive me. But y'all, let me tell you, some LPNs can run circles around RNs, okay? Registered nursing, some LPN, licensed professional nursing, can run circles around registered nursing. So don't get it twisted. Okay, now, you guys, I am going to quickly tell you about my background as a nurse. I've been a nurse for 15 years, or is it 16? I think it will be 16 years in this year in 2022, February of 2022. I will be a nurse, a registered nurse, BSN, 4-year degree, 16 years. But before I became a nurse, now I did go straight to college once I graduated from high school, and got accepted in the nursing program and everything very, very quickly. However, I didn't pass my first course, so therefore I felt like I wanted to make sure I was ready, because I know nursing, you have to be serious about nursing. So I dropped out of college, got a job, and then I did the back way. I became a certified nursing assistant, a medical assistant, a patient care assistant, and then I went back to school for nursing. And to be honest, you guys, when you have done the background of nursing, I feel like you would be a better nurse, because you have great, hopefully by now, you have great bedside manners, bedside caring. You know a little bit more because you have watched and observed the nurses that you have been around. So it's like you already know a little bit. Like with me, I asked questions, I was involved, If somebody was starting an IV, I was there looking to see how they do an IV. If they were drawing blood, I was looking to see how they drew blood. What was the technique? I did reading about nursing, how you do an EKG, you know, anything about nursing that I saw a nurse doing that I was curious about, and I knew that that was going to be within my scope of practice once I graduated, then I paid attention and I was involved and I asked questions. So I believe that if you worked inside of a hospital or nursing home, or, you know, where you do a lot of skills, I feel like that person would be a better nurse. And I have been told, one person asked me, a patient care tech asked me one time, she was like, were you a patient care tech before you became a nurse? And I said, yes, like that. She said, I can tell the difference. And we'll get into that a little bit more. But yes, that is my background of nursing. I graduated from a university here in Savannah, Georgia. And yeah, so that is my background, my educational background. As far as my work experience, oh gosh, I've done, my basic experience is med-surg, which is medical surgical, and you get patients with every type of disease there is, okay? That's why it's called medical. And you also may get some surgical patients that have had surgery. They were in the you know, they pretty much come to us to finish their healing process, for IV antibiotics, wound care, things of that nature. So you get the medical side and a little bit of the surgical side. So that's what med-surg is, and that is my background. Also, you guys, I have been, I've done home health care. I was also a manager of home health care. I've done traveling nursing. I've done site nursing. What else I have done? And now I've done, which I am currently doing now, LTAC, which is long-term acute care, which you get patients on the ventilator, you get patients who need wound care, IV antibiotics, you get patients who need rehab. The LTAC just means that you can stay longer than a regular hospital. In the hospital, you can stay only about maybe 2 weeks, but in the LTAC, you can stay as long as your insurance will cover it. You can stay, as well as sometimes we do bite the bullet. So I also have experience in that particular area. Also, I'm currently working in that particular area. And then also I am going back to school now for my nurse practitioner. I am currently in grad school now for my nurse practitioner for adult gero primary care. So I will be doing that. I graduate in 2024. I know it seemed like it's a long way, but it really isn't, because 22 is right around the corner. And that only because I have to go part-time because I'm still working full-time. So that is why it's taking me 3 years opposed to the 2 years that the nurse practitioner program takes. So with that being said, in a nutshell, that is both my educational experience as a nurse as well as my professional work history as a registered nurse, and currently in grad school for nurse practitioner. Now, we're going to get to the juicy part, talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly, okay? I knew very, 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 very early on that I was going to be, well, I didn't know that I was going to be a nurse, but I knew that I was going to be doing something where it involved older people, elderly people. I don't know, when I was young, I just had such a good rapport with elderly people, and I'm not going to go into detail that, you know, was prophesied over me and all of that. But anyways, yeah, right off the bat, I just knew that I will be doing something with older people. My mom thought I was going to be a teacher, but I was like, that's not for me. So with that being said, I always had passion for people. I've always cared about people. I always was a big communicator with a person. My mom tells me I would talk to a stranger. It didn't matter, because I was a people person. I love to talk to people. So with that being said, you guys, I'm going to say that in order to be a nurse, whether it's an LPN, ADN, RN, BSN, or what have you, you guys, you have to have passion, okay? You have to care about other people. You have to love older people and as well as children. You just have to have that, okay? You cannot become a nurse without caring for someone. You can't even become, in my opinion, you can't even become a certified nursing assistant, patient care, whatever, medical assistant, if you do not care about people. If you are in it only for the money, let me tell you right off the bat, you guys, you make decent money. I'll say you make decent money, but my state, well, I just found out actually Florida pays nursing less money than Georgia. And I found that mind blowing because Florida is way bigger than Georgia. It is a vacation state, you know, and I just find that hard to believe, but it is. Georgia is a higher paying state than Florida. Of course, the further north you go, you get paid more money. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm talking with my hand a lot. But yeah, you have to have passion, okay? So that part, you guys, is very, very necessary because I'm gonna tell you why. Being a nurse, specifically a bedside nurse, you're gonna do more than your job, okay? With that being said, you guys, if you have a vented patient with the trach and you have to suction, the patient has to be suctioned, you're going to also be that patient respiratory therapist, okay? I'm just saying, no shade to respiratory therapists who work in a hospital. I'm just speaking my truth. I'm just speaking my experience because in my experience, we have respiratory therapists. They go and make their rounds. Then after they go and make their rounds, which is very much, and let me stop talking with my hand, which is in the beginning of their shift, they pretty much don't come back unless a vent keeps going off. Because where I work, we also have patients that they have a trach, but they are not on the vent. They're still getting oxygen, but not from a vent. We call it a trach collar. So those patients have to be suctioned, but alarm is not going to go off because they're not connected to a ventilator. So if the vent does not go off, you guys, you're going to be suctioning your own patients unless you call them. Unless you're busy, you're going to, you can call them. Otherwise, you're going to be suctioning your own patients. So not only are you that patient registered nurse, you're going to be that patient's respiratory therapist. Also, you guys, patient care tech. If you think once you become a nurse that you never have to clean a patient, that you never have to wipe a patient, that you never have to bathe a patient, that you never have to feed a patient, transfer a patient, or do anything like that that you think a patient care tech's supposed to do, let me tell you now, don't become a nurse. Don't work inside of a hospital because guess what? You will also be doing those things too. So you will be that patient's nurse, respiratory therapist, and patient care tech, okay? Now, I have worked with some patient care techs who are wonderful, and I'm not saying that they're not doing their jobs. You do have some that are sorry now. They go and they get lost and they don't do a good job cleaning the patients. So be aware of that. What I am saying is because hospitals usually go by the census of the patients, if the patients are less, then the less patient care techs you will have. Like for instance, if we have, I think it's 21 or less patients, we're going to only have 2 patient care techs. If there is 22 or more, then we'll have 3. And so it's a handful because we get a lot of patients who are total care patients, can't do anything for themselves. So the patient care tech that are assigned to my patients may be busy with another patient. So therefore, I have to go in and clean that patient or give that patient water, feed that patient, whatever the case may be, okay? So for some of you guys, that may be the ugly side of nursing, knowing that you have to do not only what your scope of practice is, but also some of the duties that a patient care tech as well as a respiratory therapist have to do. Also, you may also have to be the secretary. Yes, you may also have to be the secretary because you may have to put in your own orders, or you may have to remind the secretary, hey, I saw an order for this, but I don't see the lab paperwork, or I saw an order for this, but it hasn't been taken off. So yeah, that to me is the ugly side of nursing, especially if you're working inside of a hospital. Because if anything goes wrong with that patient, you guys, the first person that the doctor and your manager is going to come to is you as that patient's nurse, because you are responsible for that patient's mind, body, spirit, and soul, the holistic of that patient. So yes, they will come to you first. Is it fair? No. Again, that is the ugly side of nursing, okay? Also, you guys, if you think you're just going to sit down after you do your rounds, pass your medications, as I stated before, no ma'am, you are not. If you're becoming a nurse because of the money, you're not going to make great money off the bat unless you live up north where the cost of living is also high. So it's going to equal out. It's going to balance out. Okay. But there are some great reasons to become a nurse. Again, if you have that gift, to me, a people person requires a gift, because let me tell you now, patient's going to make you mad. Family members going to make you mad. So you have to be able to roll in your attitude, roll in your frustration, because they will make you mad. They will say things that will absolutely be lies. I've been lied on, you guys. I take very good care of my patients because, again, I just love people, and that's a gift, okay? But I've been lied on so many times, and you can't just, for number one, the patients are old, okay? The patients are old. We do get some younger patients too. I think from 18 until the end of life is the ages that we get, maybe 17, in which what I'm going to school for, nurse practitioners, from age 13 to the end of life. But yeah, you guys, nursing it's a wonderful career. It's a wonderful profession, but you just have to have heart for it. You have to have heart for it because, like I said, there's some ugly parts of nursing. You're not just going to do your scope of practice. You're going to have to do other people's duties as well, which to me, washing a patient, that is nursing. That's a part of nursing. You have some nursing, which, you guys, I have heard nurses say, I don't have to bathe the patient. I'm the patient nurse. I'm not the patient care tech. I'm not taking a patient to the bathroom. That's not my job. And I'm looking at them like, what? You know, I have seen nurses, they're in the patient's room and the patient say, I got to use the bedpan, or I got to use the bedside commode, or I need to go to the bathroom. I have seen nurses walk out of the patient's room, walk all around the hospital asking, have you seen the patient care tech? Have you seen the tech? Have you seen, you know, by the time they find the tech, the patient has already used the restroom in the bed, you know, or either they attempt to get up and they fell on the floor because they were trying to get to the bathroom, where that nurse could have simply put the patient on the bedpan or the bedside commode, or walk the patient to the bathroom and then go find the tech and say, hey, I just placed the patient on the bedpan, bedside commode, or bathroom. You know, if you're able, can you get the patient out because I'm passing meds or I'm going on to the next patient. However, if that patient care tech is still busy, it is your responsibility to go back and clean that patient. You know, I don't understand why some nurses feel that because they are a nurse, they are not required to bathe the patient, clean a patient, feed a patient. You know, yeah, it's the whole 9 yards. And if you, again, are not a people person, nursing may not be for you. You also have to have good customer care. What I mean by that is you have to have heart, because you're going to get family members who call, they don't understand. They want their loved ones to be have this medication. They want to know every single thing, what the patient taking, why the patient taking it. Pretty much, sometimes you have to be the doctor, because the doctors just go in, write orders, see the patient for a split second, and then they're gone. But that patient and family members have so many questions that is all come down to the nurses. And then the nurses get the worst end of the stick, because they're upset about the doctor. They're fussing at the nursing, and I'm like, ma'am, I understand your frustration. However, I cannot make those choices. I cannot do that order. You know, you have to talk to the doctor. I cannot prescribe that medication. I'm only a nurse. You have to talk to the doctor about this, you know, because you have some family members, they will tell you, oh, they supposed to be taking this for that. You get some family members who think they are a nurse. And to be honest, you guys, some family members, as well as some patients, know their disease processes better than we do. The reason being is they've been dealing with it for years, you guys. And some of them are very good, very, very good at managing their diseases. They know the medication, they know what it's for. If their blood pressure are elevated, they goes, okay, what is my mom or my dad, whatever, are taking, because their blood pressure was regulated at home and they were taking A, B, C, D, F, G. And sometimes the doctors may not put patients on all of the medication that they were on at home, which that can be a problem, because their hypertension, or in layman's terms, their high blood pressure is not being manageable, because they're no longer on the same regimen that they were on at home. So yeah, we as nurses, we get the end of the stick, you guys, sometimes. But overall, I have to say that I do love my job as being a nurse. Those of you who may wonder, well, if you like nursing, why are you going back to school for nurse practitioner? As I stated before, I am currently doing bedside nursing, you guys. And because of the ugly side of nursing, having to do more than my scope of practice, you know, having to step in a lot of times for other people, for other professions, whether that is by choice, or I just have to do it because we're short staffed, or because we got somebody who's just being lazy. You know, it's tiresome physically and mentally sometimes, because you're on your feet a lot. You know, you have to transport patients, you have to pull on patients, you have to turn patients. And I do have a chronic back injury, you guys, and it's just taken a toll on my body as well as on my mental. I'm tired of working night shifts. I know I can work day shift, but it doesn't fit for my family. So those are some of the reasons why I am going back to school for nurse practitioner. As I stated, I've been a nurse for almost 16 years, and I just want to do something different. I'm getting burnt out of being a bedside nurse, and I will still be a nurse at heart, and nurse practitioner just pretty much just allow me to act as a doctor, but I'm still being supervised by a doctor. But I'm pretty much doing the same things that the doctor will do under his guidance or her guidance. But yeah, you guys, that is my story of the truth about nursing, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I did have questions on my community page as well as my IG stating those I was going to do the video, and if you have any questions or anything interesting or about nursing that you wanted to know, to leave your comments. But I did not receive any questions or comments, but I still wanted to do the video. Hopefully this will help someone. If you are in the process of becoming a nurse, or if you have a desire to become a nurse, you guys, only thing that I would say is just have a heart, be passionate, because you're going to have to you're going to have to do more than what you pass medications or documentation. You're going to have to do more than that. You know, so just be aware of that. But it's a great reward, you guys. I love it when I see patients leaving the hospital because they're healed of their wound care. We get patients who was on the vent, as I stated. A ventilator, you guys, pretty much act as your lungs because the patient is not able to breathe on their own. So they put them on in layman's term, a breathing machine, so they can be able to live. It's their life support. So to see patients coming off of the ventilator, seeing patients get that trach out of their throat and they're breathing on their own, oh, I'm about to cry. I'm not going to get emotional. Oh, Lord. I didn't know this was going to happen, y'all. I'm sorry. Whew. But to see patients come off of a vent and to see patients to be able to walk again and to have their memory again and to go home to their loved ones, you guys, and to know that you help nurse that patient back to health. Oh, it is such a wonderful, wonderful feeling, you guys. I'm telling you, I can look past cleaning them and doing suctioning them, all of that stuff, doing the extra work. I can look past all of that when I see where a patient has come from and where they are now. Y'all, I can sit here all day and just telling you about some of the conversations that I had with patients and some of the rewardings, and you know, a patient buying me a gift and remember me and saying thank you so much for being hard on me. But you know, because you have to give some patients tough love, because you get some in there, young and old, they don't want to get out of bed, they don't want to do nothing, they want to give up on life. And sometimes you have to push them. You have to push them with love. Now, I'm not saying being rude. Sometimes you have to push them and tell them, no, you're going to get out this bed today. You're going to wash today. You know why? Because you stink. And I have told the patient that, and that patient loved me. It's like, thank you so much for being honest, you know? So there's so many testimonies that I have, so many stories that I have, but this video will be 3 hours long if I sit here and I share everything. But y'all, overall, I love being a nurse. I love being a registered nurse, and I just love people. So if you're in the process of becoming a nurse, if you are a nurse, my hat goes off to you. From one nurse to another, I love you guys so much. And if there's any other things, things that you want me to talk about regarding nursing or nurse practitioner, the process of school or what have you, just leave it in the comments below. You guys, follow me on IG at simply_Minique. And yeah, that's all that I have for you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for sharing this video on all of your platforms, all about nursing, the truth about nursing, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Until the next time, you guys, this is Simply Minique. Make sure you love yourself, stay true to yourself, and be the best you that you can be. And if you are a nurse to nurse, I love you even more. All right, you guys, that is it. Until the next time, you guys be blessed. Mwah. Thank you for watching.